What is up, y'all? It's TC from the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get started, let me tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast just like ours. Let me explain to you. First of all, it is free. F-R-E-E. Free. They offer tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will even distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. Did I mention that it's free? You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Listen, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Plus, it's free. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is anchor.fm to get started on your free podcast.
What's up? What's going on? Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, episode 32. I am your host, Malik Riggs, with my guy, TC Fontaine. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? It's a hell of an event, dude. Like, I didn't know how they was gonna pull it off, but they pulled it off.
If you don't know what he's talking about WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, night one.
Night one, man.
It was cool, man.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was scared on the pre-show when Corey Graves was ending, he was like, you could watch this on the WWE Network. And then he started listing off all these other platforms you could watch it on, and they don't ever do that. So I'm getting kind of scared that they might be taking these pay-per-views off of the network. And if this happens, I'm going to be highly upset. I got to start back stealing these pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like that. But
I've already had to steal Smackdown for the last 2 weeks because the live stream on Fox doesn't seem to want to work. And I contacted tech support. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to watch my show. It's the second week in a row this has happened. And they was just giving me the runaround. And I kind of got frustrated. So I was like, man, I'm just pirate this show, man. The stream I was using was cleared. I felt like I was back in high school again. So hoping that continues to work going forward. But yeah, if it come down to it, we're going to have to start watching pay-per-views the old school way again.
Which is going to suck, man. Like, you have your own platform that even if you have to raise even if you have to put like an additional rate on the show or something, like
give us a tier system, man.
Like, tier, man. Like, please.
I think they already got the free one. I'm not sure because I pay for it every month, so I don't know.
Yeah, I seen that they got like a little free thing going on.
Yeah, I think it's like the I don't know if it's just like the commercials that they show before the shows. You know, before they had like programs come on, they had like the commercials showing and stuff. It's like a preview of what's on there, or I don't know what that's about. But yeah, they could do a tier system, something of that matter. That it'll actually be a whole lot better than just. I mean, I don't mind paying $9.99. Don't get me wrong. Like $9.99.
I would rather
all the wrestling
that way.
Yeah, all the wrestling I desire. I could. For $10, hell yeah. But I mean, if you're gonna raise the price up, like Netflix raised the price up, I still kept it like over several years. So
yeah, but it's just like what I used to hear on why like they even started doing the pay-per-views on the network is because basically what we're paying for the month is what they make off pay-per-views anyway. So it's not like they were losing money off of pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, this is the same amount of pay-per-view buys you would get. So that's why I'm kind of confused and like low-key frustrated, where it's like, why would you go back there where it's mostly not going to WWE. Most of the money's going to the cable companies and the networks of these TV companies. So like, why would you go back to that when you already got your own platform and you control the prices there? Like, even if you do a system where nobody had, like, if the person don't have a membership and they could just pay about $20-$30 to watch this one show, like, you can even have something like that. But please do not. We got to start campaigning, everybody. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start a campaign of not taking the pay-per-views off the network. Yes. Yo, young King
I'll pay
family,
$5 extra for it.
young King world. Look, we're not. Let's do this. We got to get it to WWE. Do not take these pay-per-views off the network.
Like,
Please.
I mean, y'all can still do what y'all do because it's a lot of people, at least for the big pay-per-views, they can do it like how they did it tonight, where they offer these different
Yeah.
pay-per-view options. Because I mean, let's keep it real, and I think WWE understands that, which is why they offered it this way. Not a whole lot of people watch outside of WrestleMania. Like a lot of people I've seen on Twitter tonight don't tweet about wrestling at all until it's
Right.
WrestleMania. And it's just like, okay, that's what they're here for, just for the nostalgia. Be like, you know, the same reason it's kind of like the Super Bowl. Like, a lot of people don't watch football, but they'll watch the Super Bowl just for, you know, just
Right.
because it's a big game. You know, they like the commercials. You know, they like the halftime performance. So it's something to draw just the casual people in, and you will not see them for another 364
Well,
days.
it was just weird because I'm since the networkers came around, I have not seen them promote pay-per-views anywhere else. Like, go watch it on here.
Nah,
You can watch it here. It was just strictly
and that's
on the
ironic though,
network. Get it
because it
on the
was
network.
somebody I seen yesterday that was like, man, it should be a streaming service where they post all the old wrestling pay-per-views. I was like, it's been a thing for like 6 years. The dude
Yeah,
was like, oh, man, they need to promote it better. I was like, that's all they do.
exactly. That's all they do. Like, obviously, you don't watch wrestling.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing to that. I was like, you don't watch wrestling, so I can't. I don't even feel like being a nerd right now. Just be like,
Yeah,
man, WrestleMania though, man, was like, oh, it was. I about cried during the intro. I'll be real, like
bro.
the intro video package. I about I was so emotional. I was like, man, this is why I like wrestling. I love wrestling. Like
They mess with us.
the video package was dope. That no, it started off with Stephanie McMahon doing a little, you know, like a statement, a little PR announcement. Like this is a different WrestleMania from what you're used to. And then it went to this American the Beautiful package.
Yeah,
And it was so much soul. Like we see Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, Boys to Men. They
bro.
had Michelle from Destiny's Child.
Does that kind of get that statement out of her not being able to sing? Because you did a pretty good job with that one,
Who?
Michelle. Because you know
I
the
mean,
stigma
compared
of
to
her
everybody else, yeah.
has always been like she couldn't sing, but like singing that on WrestleMania on one of those type of stages, you know, I
They
don't know,
probably
man.
wanted Beyonce, but they couldn't get her. So it was like,
And he was like, let's get
who's the other one?
the third
Kelly.
best thing.
Oh, we can't get Kelly either. We'll get the other Destiny's Child. Damn it.
The other Destiny Child.
Like there's a Vince McMahon. That's why people be like Vince is racist, WWE's racist. Like man, Vince McMahon get all soul. Like he get the blackest of black people music to sing this damn song every year. Like
Man
they had
had
Yolanda Adams last year.
yeah.
Like he done had
Aretha
Ray
Franklin.
Charles. He done had Little Richard. Yeah, like I think Willie Nelson the only white person that sung it actually.
Probably. That's all
I
I
gotta
seen on
look
that
up.
package.
Yeah, he was the only one on the video package. But I remember I researched this shit like last year. I started like, man, it's all black people that sang this song at WrestleMania. And I just looked through it. I was like, man, you got Tinashe, you got Chloe and Halle, you got the Boys Choir of Harlem.
Didn't Carrie Hilson sing one?
I want to say yeah.
You got a lot of them like he know they available.
He do. Carrie Hilson's not doing anything.
That's what I'm talking about. She hasn't done nothing since Love Lockdown. Pretty Girl Rock. I remember that song.
But that's why I found out like a while ago that Titus O'Neil's dating Yolanda Adams. I was like, man, she gonna end up singing America the Beautiful next
Are
year.
they still dating?
Lo and behold, she was singing America the Beautiful. I was like, I knew it. That video package was fire though, dude. And then they had the little intro video package. It was long as hell, but it was entertaining. And we got right into it, man. We're gonna run down these results and get these grades off.
Let's do it.
Oh, bless you, man. In the pre-show,
Jeez.
we had you got the corona. Hope not. But
That's how be seeing That's the worst thing about this season. Allergy season has now mixed with Corona season. So us people that have allergies, and now they all talking like, yeah, man, you need to go. So I'm like, yeah, shut up, dude. This happens every year. This ain't the first year this done happened to me.
It be making me feel paranoid though.
Yeah, it makes everybody feel paranoid because everybody's talking about it. So I stay off the internet.
Yeah, it's like I hear somebody coughing or sneezing, like, you know, walls in my apartment thin, so I could hear people just like, you know, doing whatever. And so I hear a cough. I'll be like, hold on. What's going on, fam? Like,
you ready to kick Chris out?
Hey, man. Even not even that. It just people like the neighbors, like downstairs. I can hear them all the time. I hear somebody playing the video games. They be loud. They be on the chat. Yeah, hell yeah, let's go. I can hear them sneezing. Like, hold on, dog. Like, you keep that down there. Keep that downstairs. Yeah. But anyway, man. For the pre-show, we had Cesaro and Drew Gulak. And I don't remember the last time Cesaro won a match one-on-one, but he did it here. He got a WrestleMania moment. That was cool.
Pre-show moment.
Yeah, it was short though.
Is that still considered a WrestleMania moment?
Yeah, because Mojo Rawley won the Battle Royal. That was a WrestleMania moment. I think was it Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder last year on the pre-show?
But I think they won like the tag title or something like that.
Yeah, they won the Raw tag titles last year. We got the Google machine right here. So we're just gonna verify it real quick. It's real shortly, real quick. That was on the pre-show. As well as Tony Nese won the Cruiserweight title as well. And then Braun Strowman won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So those was all WrestleMania moments.
Yes, sir.
So that was dope, man. Cesaro gets his Mania moment. I think it was the first one since he won the initial Andre the Giant Battle Royal back in 2014 at WrestleMania 30.
I think so.
He doesn't win often, and because of that, he doesn't win at WrestleMania often. So that was good to see. It was a short match, so not much of a grade to really give it. I would like to see them, once the ball gets rolling again, whenever that is, we get a match with those guys in front of a live crowd. I would love to see them go at it, one-on-one again and get a lot more time than they did.
Yep.
But for the
first few matches didn't get a lot of time, honestly.
Yeah, not a whole lot of them. The women's tag titles got about 15 minutes. And I thought it was a really good match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, Bliss Cross Applesauce win the women's tag team championships for a second time, defeating the Kabuki Warriors. What did you think of this match, man? I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
I love hearing Asuka screaming "Don't make sense" and like we don't understand what she's saying, but I understand what she's saying, so I love it. Nikki Cross, I seen that little Sanity side tour. She got a little nuts in there.
And shout out to Michael Cole for the plug. Just really gassing up. Like, this is Nikki Cross' best match she's ever had in WWE. And like, it was at least on the main roster. She had some joints in NXT that were fire. Shout out to the match with Asuka, the last woman standing. I want to say that was in like 2016, 2017. Fire match. But this is her best match since that one. And she did.
JBL was back too.
Yeah, shout out to JBL too, man. Hall of Famer was on color commentary for Smackdown.
Bradshaw,
the wrestling god. But yeah, this match was dope, dude. For what it was. What would you give it a grade for? I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B. It was cool. Like Nikki Cross carried the whole match for the most part.
Yeah, I'll give it a B. It wasn't bad.
It was solid opener. And from what I can think of, I think it was the first time the women have opened WrestleMania. So that's cool for them to be in that spot. So I would even like to see that in front of the main crowd. I think I might be mistaken because I think the women opened WrestleMania 33.
Yeah. Did they?
I remember Naomi won. I can't remember if it was on the pre-show or not though.
I think it was on the pre-show.
Hey, we got Google real quick. We just gonna deviate from what we doing for a second and just confirm this. No, I was wrong. That was later. That was actually the match before the main event. Never mind. So from what I know,
we were super off.
Yeah. From what I know, that was the first time women have main evented, not main evented, but opened WrestleMania. So that was cool. The last match of WrestleMania 35 was a women's match, and the first match of 36 was a women's.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, that's crazy. Now that never happened. So.
Yeah, that's definitely never happened because last year was the first time the women main event. So it never happened. Next up, we got Elias and Baron Corbin, King Corbin. Unblock us on Twitter, please. I mean, not Twitter, Instagram.
He still has us blocked?
Yeah. You know who else blocked us?
Who?
This one hurt me. Batista.
Is he mad about his theme song?
No. All right. So, this crazy like Tiger King stuff going on.
No, I'm gonna block this for that.
Yeah, that little meme. I thought it was funny. Like
it's going everywhere. He went viral.
Yeah, he blocked us for it though, man. I was hurt. I was so hurt. I went to go look at his page. I couldn't find it. I was like, oh.
Hey, Jeff Hardy never did that to us.
Hey, John Cena didn't. If John Cena ever blocked me, I would be sad. Because he followed like 60,000 people on Twitter. So I would be sad. But anyway, King Corbin lost to Elias. Like Elias came back and he was kind of perfectly fine after getting thrown off of a podium. But yeah, he ended up beating Baron Corbin. Elias is undefeated at WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's go. So shout out to Elias. What does WWE stand for, bro?
I don't
Walk with Elias. What? No. I'm over here hyping my guy up, man. I don't get no support.
Oh, we walking with Elias.
Walk with Elias.
Yeah, walk with Elias. I don't care about this guy.
For the Raw Women's Championship, this one was a little controversial. The Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defeated Shayna Baszler. But real quick, what grade would you give the previous match?
What grade would you give it?
I'm gonna give it a C. It was cool. It wasn't bad. It wasn't stand out. Which
Okay, so I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll give it a C. Because I don't want to be the guy that just bashes the guys because I'm interested in the wrestlers. But yeah. So.
I mean, it wasn't Baron Corbin's best match. The best match was with Chad Gable, King of the Ring Finals. Definitely his best match of his career. I mean, it's probably Elias's second or third best match.
God, wait.
That Symphony of Destruction they had like a month or two ago, that was fantastic. So that was Elias's best match in my opinion. But yeah, it's good. Just want to see. But for the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch retained her championship over Shayna Baszler. She's looking at a year-long reign here in a couple days with the Raw Women's title. It was a lot of controversy over the finish. People complain that Shayna Baszler loses her first opportunity after she ran through the entire Raw Women's division at the Elimination Chamber.
That show you the badass Becky is. Like, just because she ran through the whole Elimination Chamber, this woman has held this belt for over a year. So it's like, honestly, it's an even playing field, if anything, if he gonna say it like that. So
definitely, and then especially in the fact that if you watch the match, it was really. It just seemed like Becky kind of scouted Shayna a little bit.
Yeah.
She had counters. Yeah, she had counters to her moves. Especially the Kirifuda clutch. She slipped out of that several times early on and just throughout the match. And it was solid back and forth. It was, it wasn't as bad as when she won the title last year, as far as like the roll up goes. I still think it was kind of a botched finish. This one, it was kind of better. I do think that WWE does need to find more ways to kind of have Shayna lose matches.
Yeah,
like she loses matches just like kind of the same way every time.
Yeah.
So you know,
You think that's their way of like trying to keep her looking strong or
it's
something?
the best way to protect her. But I think especially on the main roster, it'll get old. Like in NXT, she didn't lose often, so it wasn't really that bad. But even when she got eliminated in the Battle Royal back in
Yeah.
January by Shotzi Blackheart, it was kind of a similar thing. Where she just ends up kind of getting outsmarted, and that's how she ends up losing. So
Okay. Yeah.
she might have to tone down that destructive type of behavior from
Yeah.
her a little bit.
Well, that was low key. Well, when I watched her on the Ultimate Fighter, that was her downfall. She was pretty a little bit too cocky, and she got caught. So that might
Okay,
come
so
from a little bit of her MMA career. So
that makes a lot more sense.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe they don't need to lean into that as hard. But yeah, next chance she get, she's gonna win that championship, and
yeah. If we would have had Money in the Bank, I thought that would have been a perfect opportunity for her right there.
for
Go
sure,
get that, cash it in.
win the Money in the Bank and cashing in immediately. Be like, hey, I'm cashing this shit in later tonight.
Yeah,
We gotta worry about
after her
it.
match, literally after her match, to be prepared.
Like no, like she would have grabbed that briefcase, grabbed the microphone, be like, "I'm cashing this in later, so don't trip." Well, I'm letting you know right now. That's unfortunate. It's not gonna happen that way. But
Yes,
what grade would you give that match, man?
I'll give it a B. It wasn't like extremely bad, so I'll give it a B. You know, they both showed what they could do. Like what people, one thing people gotta understand is this is not, you know, regular wrestling. Like everybody has so much going on right now to the point where it's like you doing this on the biggest show on top of your regular life ain't regular life right now. So there's a lot of stuff people are dealing with. They make for what they have. They don't have a crowd. They don't have energy to go off of. They have each other. You might see Cole or JBL or something like that, but they did with the best they could. So with that, hey, giving it a B.
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna give it a B plus. My network froze for like 4 minutes in it,
Yeah,
and then that happened with you too.
that happened a couple times at the beginning with Corbin and Elias, where it kept
Yeah,
like freezing. So I'm like, maybe there's too many people on.
yeah. Like I was watching on my Chromecast, and I switched to my PS4. Um, but yeah, it froze, and I had to load up my PS4, and then I was logged out. I had to log back in, and then I was like,
Damn, it
damn,
logged you out?
yeah, I haven't watched it on my PS4 in months.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, damn, I gotta log in. I couldn't remember my passwords. I had to go look up my password. So I finally got logged in and got the feedback up right before the end of the match. So I want to go rewatch the match and find out, what I missed during it. But
Yeah.
from what I seen, I'm gonna give it a B plus. Just for the psychology aspect of it. I thought Shayna she was the aggressor for most of the match, and Becky was just kind of the vet using her wit to kind of outsmart Shayna a little bit. So it told the story, proper story for what
Yeah.
it could have been. So can't really complain about it too much. It was good. It was good. Moving on, we have Sami Zayn defending his Intercontinental Championship against Daniel Bryan. The Artist Collective with Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, and they're kind of making things hell for Daniel Bryan a little bit there, and Drew Gulak helped even the score up as much as he could. But watching the match, so I initially picked Daniel Bryan to win, and then in the middle of the match, I was just like, this looks like Sami Zayn is going to steal the win and retain the championship. Also because Sami Zayn has never won at WrestleMania, and he has won at WrestleMania as of now.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn gets his first win at Mania. He retains an Intercontinental title. What grade would you give the match?
Um, it's kind of hard. I don't know. I might have to go back and really rewatch this match to really give it a justifiable grade. So maybe tomorrow I might have to speak more on that. What would you give it?
From what I've seen, I enjoyed the little, Sammy's running away and then using Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro as like barriers when Daniel Bryan tries to chase him, and then
Yeah.
Gulak gets involved. I'm gonna give it a B. I know these two can have a better match, but they got in a lot in under 10 minutes. I know they both have a really bad injury history. between the two of them. So as much as they could do right here, given this here. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a B.
Cool.
We don't have a grade from Malik, but
I'm gonna be watching it like tomorrow or something like that. And I got you.
For the Smackdown Tag Team Championships, this is innovative because The Miz apparently backed out. I didn't know. I avoided spoilers. Excuse me. So I had no idea that he backed out of the.
You know that?
No, I didn't know. He didn't. I didn't know that he backed out of the Tag Team Championship match. So initially it was supposed to be a tag team triple threat match, and then it just got reduced to a regular triple threat match, where it had one representative for each team. So it was John Morrison put the titles on the line against Jimmy Uso, who I've always thought was the better of the Usos, and then so it was good to see him get that spotlight here. And it's Kofi Kingston as well. This match was hard hitting. They put it all on the line for the fact there wasn't no fans there. They put it all out there.
It's flames. That's all.
I can just imagine how much better it would have been in front of 80,000 people, but it is what it is. They still put on a classic. It's probably one of the best ladder matches in WrestleMania history. It's up there.
Yeah,
it's up there for real.
Because honestly, at first I was upset because I'm like, why didn't they just have like they, would do in the past where the two teams, still had their team come out and then John Morrison out there for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which like it's terrible, but like, hey, that's not my fault. Your
partner
backed out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I was upset at first, but like after watching this match and looking at it, you really don't need nobody else in this match. Honestly, love Big E, love Jay. Love Miz. You don't need nobody else in this match.
And they got the perfect people from each team to represent them too. Like
and the ending of the match was amazing.
Yeah, let's talk about that ending, man. So all three guys are grabbing the little thing that holds the championships up there, and they're all fighting for it. And Jimmy Uso unclips the they got the little holder, the little brass holder that hold the belt that they put the belts on, and Jay Uso unclips it, and so like each of them are all grabbing it, and then John Morrison takes down the championships and falls down. That is the second time that this has happened to Kofi Kingston in a ladder match, a triple threat ladder match. Back in 2010 at the Table Ladders and Chairs pay-per-view, it's Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger. And Jack Swagger and Kofi are fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, and they end up unclipping the title, and it falls down to the ground, and then Dolph Ziggler just like goes in the ring and possesses the belt, and he's declared the winner. So Kofi Kingston has really bad luck in these type of situations. This is the second time this has happened to him in 10 years.
But this got me thinking now, like with that gold thing, I didn't see so many people trying to unhook that in these ladder matches. And I'm like, why don't you just pull down the belts? I've always thought that, I'm like, why don't you just pull down the belts? So now I'm like, maybe they just can't do that no more. And now that John Morrison has done it, I'm like, all right, cool. And another cool spot to me is when what was it? Jimmy and John was in a ring, and like Jimmy pushed a ladder onto John Morrison, and like he literally like
his head went through it.
It was fired.
I was like, that was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, I don't think it's ever happened yet.
Man, this match was dope. I enjoyed it. What grade would you give it? I'm gonna give it an A, man.
I'm with you.
It turned the tide of the pay-per-view. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like I was enjoying the pay-per-view up to this match, but I was like, man, if we keep going like this, it's gonna get kind of. And this turned the tide. Like it really brought me back into it for real. I think the pay-per-view itself turned the tide. Because everything after that, I don't think missed. Even the Universal Championship, we're gonna talk about that. But even that one didn't really miss it. It was kind of what was expected. So I can't really get mad at it. Like as long if it lived up to my expectations, it's cool with me. So that's what that was. But yeah, this one I'm gonna give it an A, man. It was You know, they put their bodies on the line for, you know, to entertain people. It's what they do. It's all they know is what to just, you
And
know,
it's the
do
three
their thing.
perfect guys for it too.
Yeah. Three vets, you know, former world champions, and then you got Jimmy Uso. Fortunately, has not had any chances at a world championship, but maybe in the future. I don't know.
Probably one of the top tag team, like top
Probably one of the best tag
WWE
team
history.
wrestlers ever, all time.
Yeah. So
It's arguable. Like you can
yeah,
argue who the best tag team wrestlers are all the time, and the Usos are
he's
both
up
up
there.
there.
Yes, sir.
You know, they don't always got to be singles, but, you know, even though that's
Yeah.
kind of, you know, it's always been seen as the goal, you know, the end all goal, but it don't necessarily have to be.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it with your brother.
Exactly, man. I mean, literally day one ish. Like y'all was literally
Yeah.
born on the same day. Y'all been together the
Yeah.
whole time, so
So
can't get
yeah,
mad.
right. Yes, sir.
Next up, we got Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Uh, Kevin Owens initially won by disqualification after Seth Rollins hit him with the ring bell. And Kevin Owens was like, hold on, fam. I ain't with that. Like, you know, get back here. We're going to start this over. No DQ. So Seth
Yeah.
Rollins was like, you never learn. This was cool. Like, I enjoyed it. I think from what we have gotten through this whole feud is just really personal. And
Yeah.
they turned that up to another level, especially when it became a no DQ match. They really turned it up. You know, Seth Rollins, you know, was taunting him. He called Kevin Owens a fat piece of shit.
That was hilarious. Like
So
I was laughing so hard when he said that. I was like, like I thought that was like just
because you know
it
what it
was
reminded
hilarious.
me of? It kind of like, even though it was just minor, but it reminded me of The Rock and Mick Foley, the empty
Oh
arena match
yeah.
that they had, and The Rock was just talking shit the whole time. And so like Seth Rollins calls him you know, a fat piece of shit, and then Kevin Owens is like, "You've always been a bitch." I was like, "Oh, we get
Yeah.
personal. This
Yeah.
is personal. This is authentic. This is real."
Now I'm gonna say this. This is why I get upset when older wrestlers, part timers come in and steal the world title spots. Because to me, the only thing that would have made this match better is having a world title right. This match will, to me, honestly, will go down in history. But it's just like, bro, had it been for that WWE or that Universal title, bro, it would have just made it that much better. And me as a wrestling fan, like when I get frustrated, it's because of stuff like that. When you have a match like this, and it's like, I'm not saying it's not for no reason, not saying that it's pointless, but it's like, yo, if this would have been for the world title, bro, like think about it. This would have really went down in history. You know what I'm saying? As probably one of the best world titles matches of all time. Just from like when they restarted, because after like once they restarted, I'm like, yo, this is because the match is good already. But once he DQ'd himself, I was like, oh, that's kind of anti. Like I was like, all right, you know, whatever. But when KO hopped in the ring and you start cutting a promo, we got a promo in the middle of that. On top of them coming back in and just going at it, and then when Kevin Owens jumped off the sign,
Yes.
when he jumped off the
Hit him with the
sign, bro,
elbow drop through the table off of the WrestleMania sign. I
you
think it's
didn't
the
you
first time anybody's ever jumped off of a WrestleMania sign before.
you didn't
Uh,
need fans for that.
nah, especially with
You
something personal like this, you don't need it. We trying to brawl wherever. Uh,
Yeah, and
man,
honestly, they should, you know, in the years coming, they should keep this idea in mind. Like, I honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing
more
some
empty
matches,
arena matches,
yeah, like at the PC Center like this. Like, they might,
especially if they're personal feuds. Like you don't have these people just wrestling in the ring. Like, give us the chance. You know, authorize us to fight wherever we want to fight at.
yeah. So
What you gonna get this match, man?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm giving it a A,
An
A
A,
plus.
A+.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me too, man. This is actually I'm gonna give the previous match an A+ too. Like the latter match, I'm
Okay,
gonna give that a plus too because like I said, it turned the tide of the pay-per-view. And
not
then,
mad at that. Yep.
you know, usually you have ladder matches like that on the card. You gotta have a cool down for the crowd, but like they
Yeah.
jump right into the Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins right afterwards. So you don't necessarily need a cool down in this sense. So for sure, I'm gonna give this one an A+. Hey,
Shout out
stole the show.
KO.
Shout out
Like,
Kevin Owens getting I think this is his first win at Mania. I think he had one win before.
yeah. But this right here is that stamp. This right here is that stamp. Whereas when you speak on Kevin Owens, you speak
His
on
last one
Seth.
was against Jericho,
Seth.
right?
Yes, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah.
You speak on KO, you speak on Seth Rollins. This is a match that I don't think nobody's ever going to forget.
No, this is going in their personal history books for
Yes,
for.
sir.
So you need a cool down match. So we gonna move on. For the Universal Championship was it for real cool down
Ain't that
match.
crazy?
Yeah, your top
title.
championship was the cool down match at WrestleMania. What kind of stuff is that? Goldberg defends his championship against Braun Strowman. Initially, it was supposed to be Roman Reigns.
A cool down match with Goldberg and Braun Strowman.
Goldberg is your world champion, and he is in a cool down match at your biggest show. That's crazy. In front of nobody. He in front of nobody at that. That is insane to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wrestling has changed, people. I keep telling everybody, wrestling has changed.
But let's be real though.
What?
With Roman, this would have been hot in front of the crowd. I think the crowd would have did their own thing with this match. Like they would have booed the shit out of both guys.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm about to say. With Goldberg and Roman, yeah, they would have booed it. Yeah, they would have took over.
Like the crowd would have made this match interesting. But I mean the match went the same way I thought it was gonna be with Roman. Just like Goldberg hit Braun Strowman with like 5 spears. Went to go pick him up for the jackhammer, and then Braun hit Goldberg with like 5 power slams, and it won the belt about 2 minutes. It was what it was. That's what I expected. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, it lived up to my expectations, and that was good enough for me. I'm gonna give this one. So in school, in school, where like your professor don't want to fail you, but like he ain't gonna give you a passing grade neither, so he just mark your grade for the semester as incomplete.
Yep.
I'm gonna give this one an incomplete. Like I don't want to mark you. It is what it was. I'm not tripping over it. What grade would you give it?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna get at I gotta give it a C.
C?
Know what I mean?
Okay.
Because this is the top. I'm not gonna give it a D. I'm not gonna give it an F. But like it wasn't like a terrible match. It went just like everybody thought it would go. But I don't care what comes before you. This is the top title. This is the main attraction in wrestling. You have to put on a great show. I don't care who went on before you. You know what I mean? Like that'd be my frustration with wrestling, because had this match not been for the title and it went on after, then we could talk. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I mean? But it's you're putting up the top prize at your top show, and you got hard work. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is. Hey, make it better next year.
Hey.
That's all you gotta do.
And once we get these arena crowds back, Braun Strowman gonna give Roman another championship. You already know that. I mean, another championship chance. Because Braun ain't turned it down no fights. And
shout out Mr. Junior Chronicles. Every time I hear Roman, I think of him. So Mr. Junior.
And but Roman, man, he not going. Yeah, he not gonna go for that. Like, hey, fam, all right, I'm back. Like, we good now. Like, let me get my championship. I ain't get a chance at this. I need my belt back. Like every time I want to get my belt back, something happens. Like, I think that belt is kind of cursed at this point. Like, something happened every time somebody win that belt. If it ain't Brock, like if it ain't Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Because Finn Balor got hurt.
Finn got hurt in the match he won it in and had to relinquish it the next night. And then Kevin Owens didn't main event a pay-per-view the whole time, loses to Goldberg. Goldberg and Brock, that was cool. But Brock ended up holding it for about a year and a half. Roman gets it, ends up getting cancer, has to relinquish it. Brock gets it again, and we just tired of Brock having it. Seth wins it, and then we get tired of Seth, and then Bray has it, and they end up having him lose to Goldberg. And now, so hopefully Braun can help turn the tide a little bit. It's long overdue for Braun to win the world championship. So congrats to Braun Strowman on his first world championship.
I just want WWE to really look at their workhorses in a different eye. That's all. Look at him in a different eye. This man, like I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to keep harping back on this match. This man, Kevin Owens, like literally, no big man should be doing that. Jumping that high. Seth Rollins took the bump too. Seth Rollins took the bump. Like for Seth, I'll give hella respect to Seth Rollins for taking that bump, because even though it's not like like Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon, but you know how high that man jumped from for all that weight to come down on you. Big ups to both of these guys, man.
And one thing to note as well about that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens match, I totally forgot what I was about to say. I am so sorry. So if it comes to mind again, I'll remember.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into this. The main event.
Hey,
listen, if you would have told me 5 years ago, like, hey, in 2020, AJ Styles is gonna main event WrestleMania, I'd be like, AJ Styles not even in the WWE. What are you talking about? But here we are. Like AJ Styles is main eventing WrestleMania, the Boneyard match with the Undertaker. Listen, this is so like before we turned on and recorded, me and Malik was talking about like the old WWE films that came out.
Yes.
And how they actually had a nice little run of WWE films in like the late 2000s. They had The Marine, The Condemned, and of course, my personal favorite WWE movie of all time, See No Evil, featuring Kane. So we were talking about these movies that they had, but this right here, this Boneyard match, this is the best match. This is the best movie. This is the best wrestling movie I have ever seen in my life. Like this was incredible. So we started. We hear Undertaker's music, and there's a hearse pulls up, and hearse they pull out the casket. They roll the casket out. They open the casket. It is AJ Styles like trolling as the Undertaker.
Bro, wait. You know what I thought of?
What up?
So then AJ cut the promo on Undertaker, right? When he said Carl and Lou out for him to sign the contract. What they should have did, honestly, what I think would have been great, rebooking, if AJ went out there and when the lights went off, and you know the Undertaker popped up behind them, if AJ was out there, you had AJ pop in a ring while Undertaker standing outside the ring, and the lights come back on. He just like, see, you're old. Like, I already seen this trick a million times. Like, I don't know. I've been thinking about that the entire time, but yeah, you keep going.
All right, I'm about to get color. If you haven't seen this is the most greatest ridiculous thing I've ever seen in wrestling. Like even more than the final deletion, ultimate deletion with Matt Hardy.
Shout out to Matt.
Matt Hardy said he the innovator of this. Like yeah, I mean him and Chavo Guerrero, Lucha Underground. I think they started this.
Yeah.
Listen. So after AJ pops out the casket, right? He's like, "Where's Undertaker at?" And then he hears a bike. And like I heard the bike before, like AJ acknowledged it, and I was like, "Oh, this biker Taker is back, like the American badass." This is my favorite. That's my favorite version of the Undertaker. So he pull up on the bike, and then they did the whole like the camera pans up from his feet stepping off the bike, and it pans up to show him, and it just showed the credits, the Undertaker. It was like really cinematic. It was dope. And so like Taker just walks, and they start brawling. They start fighting. It's probably one of the most epic things I've ever seen. It was really like a really low budget action movie.
A different side of Taker we've never seen.
We've never seen this version of Undertaker.
Talking, he's like getting super personal. Yeah.
Like, I mean, and that's kind of how he was with the American Badass initially. He would talk a lot of shit, like Big Evil. Like go back and watch, like, I know remember I told you to watch WrestleMania.
No, he sure did. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you go back and watch the episode of Smackdown before WrestleMania 17, like he was talking shit to Triple H. he ended up getting arrested before WrestleMania. He was talking shit to the cops. He was like, "Hey, why don't we stop and get a donut on the way down to the jail station?" I was like, yeah, he was in his bag. So so it was a good little, kind of go back to the old times with Undertaker, my favorite version.
Which was big, especially with a guy like AJ who could talk. He talk crap. So yeah, this is perfect.
They can get it. They can bounce off of each other and just it reminded me of like one of those really low budget action movie sequels that you see on Netflix. Like that's what that reminded me of, some old like Steven Seagal, Rambo type of thing. So that anyway, Gallows and Anderson pop up after Undertaker had AJ buried initially. They pop up and it's a bunch of druids in a barn house.
Hey, Taker.
And they unleash the druids on Undertaker. Undertaker takes care of them, ends up fighting off Gallows and Anderson here. There's a shovel out there. They end up taking the shovel to try to bury the Undertaker. And AJ Styles gets up, cracks the shovel over Undertaker's back. And Undertaker falls into the ditch. And this is like, let me back off from summarizing this real quick, and let me just say that as far as this is concerned, like we said, we haven't seen anything like this from the Undertaker, right?
Right.
Which is crazy because we think like, man, the Undertaker agreed to do this ridiculous stuff. But then you remember he's been a zombie for 30 years. It was like he was already ridiculous. Like so Undertaker is about to get buried. AJ Styles gets into the forklift. He's gonna throw the dirt on him. Undertaker just like pops up right behind him.
Right?
It just like catches a new wind, and I don't think AJ Styles got any momentum in.
You think they took a break from the match so he could like catch his breath or something?
Oh yeah, that was like, it's like, all right, we're back in 40, guys. Back on set in 40.
Hey, good job, AJ.
He's like, I didn't hit you too hard, did I? Like, no, you're good. Yeah, he pops back up. He just catches a new win. I don't think AJ Styles got any offense in for the rest of the whole thing.
Which is okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Like Undertaker was whooping his ass. They end up fighting on top of like this barnyard shed. Undertaker tombstones one of Gallows and Anderson. Can't remember which one. Tombstones them.
It was Anderson.
Yeah, tombstones them on top of the barn. And then he ends up chokeslamming AJ Styles off of it onto something. I don't know what he ended up getting chokeslammed onto. He goes and takes AJ, big boots him into the ditch, and then throws the dirt on him. And then AJ's hand is just sticking up out of the dirt. And then he reveals a tombstone. This tombstone kind of made me uneasy a little bit, seeing like AJ, rest in peace, AJ Styles, 1979 to 2020. I was like, yeah. I wonder how his kids feel about seeing that. Listen, here's what would have made this match better. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen what was the name of that damn The Rise of Skywalker, the last Star Wars movie came out this past December. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. It's been out for about 4 months now, so you probably should have. But at the end of it, towards the end of it, you have Ray almost revealed a major spoiler. So I'm gonna have some respect.
Spoiler, man. If you listening to this, hey.
Hold on, I'm gonna have some respect, but I'm not like.
Let's go spoil it, man.
Minor spoilers. There's minor spoilers, so okay. I'm not going to do major shit. But so Ray, Ray has been doing her Jedi training, and towards the end of it, all the Jedi from the past like start speaking to her, just like the spirits just start talking to her. So you hear like Anakin Skywalker, you hear Obi-Wan Kenobi, you hear Mace Windu. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson. So you hear all them. And so that's why I would have liked to see something with the Undertaker after he like rose up again. I would have loved to just like we hear Paul Bearer.
Oh man!
Oh yes, finish him, Undertaker. Like brother love, Like you could have Bruce Prichard. I'm pretty sure was there. Like when they was filming this, like you could have got him, this dude, Brother Love. Like
what was he? The Dark Order? You could have had those guys too. Something like that.
you could have had. Well, you could have had like. Damn it, I'm drawing a blank here. Kane, yeah. I'll forget Kane's name. Shit. You could have had Kane, like holograms or something. Like
I'm surprised he actually didn't pop up like Kane.
Yeah, they should have Kane pop up. Like you could have had these guys in holograms, man. Like I know we can't get Paul Bear, obviously rest in peace. To what is his name, William Moody, R.I.P. Side note, I remember we went to Denny's a couple years ago, and my waiter looked just like Paul Bear, so I was kind of creeped out.
But you know something else I thought of which like I kind of hope that could have happened in this match. When what you call them, the minions or the move, whatever they call?
Oh yeah, the Ministry of Darkness, right?
Yeah, with all the little black hoods. No,
the druids.
The druids when they came out. I really wish if after he really like just whooped all their ass, Aleister Black would have like popped up out of nowhere and just gave him that kick and then just left, like, you know what I mean? Just left, and then you could have gave him them like could have did something with him and Taker, like probably kind of set up for next year WrestleMania, because I'm sure it's not the last we see of Taker.
I initially thought that's kind of what they were gonna go with. I thought it was gonna be
that'd have been cool. I mean, you still got time to do something like that
versus Undertaker and Aleister Black. That's what I initially thought it was gonna be.
At
WrestleMania. Maybe it would have been like that had all this stuff not happened, because they just definitely threw Aleister Black in a little throwaway match against Bobby Lashley tomorrow night. So
that's just some food for thought. Like honestly, when they all came out and tried to attack Undertaker, he take them all out, and then you turn around, you just get all that the kick. I forget the name of his move. I don't remember moves, people. I'm sorry, but you kick him, and then you kind of just have him like kind of stand over Taker, and then he just walk out because he don't mess with AJ neither or the OC. So he just pimp off, and that set up something for next year, because I know Taker would be highly pissed, but he like, forget this. I gotta bury this dude right now, and then I'll deal with you later, son.
For sure, man. And at the end of the match, Undertaker hops back on his motorcycle, rides off, raises his arm. And as soon as he raises his arm, the barnyard gets set on fire. And then his Ministry of Darkness logo, I used to draw that all the time when I was a kid. The logo ends up, showing up in the background. It was really cinematic. This match, what grade would you give this match, dude? It wasn't even really a match, but it was kind of like a buried alive match, because
it was. I'm giving it an A.
Like I think this is all buried alive matches should have been like this, honestly.
Yes, they all should have been like this, because like honestly, it's pointless to do it in an arena full of people who know you're not going to be, technically there, even though we know you're not there. But
if they had like trap doors back then or something.
Yeah. Now you have it in a graveyard. It's like a graveyard, bro.
You could have filmed it real cinematic, like, and I think, man, had this pandemic not happened, we probably wouldn't have ever gotten anything like this again. Because like, I don't think they really liked the Ultimate Deletion that much, even though it was a hit on YouTube. But I don't know if they liked it that much. I'm pretty sure, like, outside of the hands being tied, they didn't have a choice but to go with it. But they nailed it. So I think shout out to Jeremy Borash, TNA. TNA alumni, who was working with WWE the past few years.
Did he direct this?
I think he did, because I know he was involved in the Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy Ultimate Deletion, because he was involved in the original Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy.
Oh, so now this makes perfect sense. Yeah. So
So like I'm assuming Jeremy Borash had something to do with that. So if he did, major props. If he didn't, I want to find out who did, because I want to give them the props for that. My rating.
When AJ was like, "Don't bury me, don't bury me, don't bury me."
Yeah, I was like, "Man, you copping please now." You was talking all that shit for the past like month and a half. Like now you out here copping please. But you gave it an A. I'ma listen. If Dave Meltzer gave Kenny Omega versus Okada 7 stars, I'm giving this one 8.
What?
Like this is probably the best thing I ever seen on wrestling in my life. Like it was just that good. I think it's just the fact I'm a film junkie, so like the fact
Okay.
that it's kind of
Yeah. It's
scratched
in your
that
world.
film itch a little
It's
bit.
in your world.
Yeah, it scratched that film itch. Like it wasn't like major budget,
Hey,
but
TC, when we have our own promotion one day, we're gonna do this.
oh hell yeah! I want to do something like this at some point in my life. Uh, in addition, I want to get Stone Cold Stunner, and I want to have a segment just like this. Those are my two goals in the wrestling industry that I want to want to get on. I'm gonna give this one 8 stars just because like this is the greatest damn thing I ever seen in my life, and it
It
was
finally
dope.
popped in my head. Black Mass. I'm sorry. Now the move popped in my head. Okay, but continue.
Also, let me bounce back. I remember what I was going to say about Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins.
What?
Kevin Owens finally brought back the pop-up powerbomb. I just wanted to shout that out.
Oh yeah.
He brought that back just for probably one night only, but he had to reach in his bag a little bit. It was like, man, I want to get rid of this motherfucker right now, so I'm getting my bag. But back to this boneyard match, man. You think like this is the way they wrote off AJ Styles? Like, is this a way to retire AJ Styles, or you think he'll be back in some capacity? Maybe is
I
the
think
end
he'll
of
be
him in a
back.
full-time capacity?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if it's the end of him in a full-time capacity. AJ Styles is a veteran of this game. He done gave us plenty of great matches. If he want to be a part-timer, he gave his time, gave his life. He deserves to be a part-timer doing whatever he wants to do, enjoying his life.
Absolutely. I know he's been on record saying that this is going to be his last contract with WWE. That was a couple years ago, maybe like a year ago.
Like,
I
did he
don't
sign
know
like a
when
5-year contract or something like that?
I don't know how long the contracts are.
Oh,
I think his initial one was like 3.
okay.
So I don't know how long this one is. So but I know he said this is gonna be his last one. He's gonna retire afterwards. But hopefully not. But if
I
he does,
take every wrestling retirement with a grain of salt. Besides Shawn Michaels,
even he
and
came
Shawn
back.
Michaels, he came back for one match though. Like a lot of these guys be
I think
retiring, coming
the
back for 2
only
or 3.
one who has retired and stayed retired was Stone Cold Steve
Stone
Austin.
Cold, unfortunately, right?
And even then, I feel like if Edge came back, he definitely got a chance to come back. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like honestly, with a lot of these old guys coming back, uh, I feel Stone Cold still has something in his tank where he could come back. And I want to give one more big ups to Undertaker. Undertaker is probably the only part timer you can say that's from probably the 90s that I wouldn't be mad at if he won another world championship. Just throwing that out there. Just because he like that one year he had a bad year, with Goldberg, that match is pretty bad and all that stuff. But besides that, Taker has given us nothing but greatness for years and years and years, and somehow he still finds a way to do something else great. So yeah, shout out to Taker, man. Giving these
like the
guys these
Undertaker.
flowers while they're still here.
It's dope. Undertaker is the American badass again. Hopefully he keeps that up. I think this is probably the best blending of American badass and phenom dead man
Yeah,
Undertaker they've
just
done.
keep it that way. Yeah, you don't got to be the dead man. We know he ain't sleeping at no graveyard or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think like aside from I was watching the episode of Smackdown after WrestleMania 20, and Undertaker came out and Tombstone Paul Heyman at the end of the show, but he had the bandana on. And I was like, you kind of blending it a little bit,
Yeah,
in between there. But yeah, this was dope. Like he had his, he was in his American badass shit talk bag, but he still had those phenom powers. And so I would like to see, Undertaker kind of come back and just ride the motorcycle more often. You know,
you know what I thought of? I'm like, what if Undertaker parents would have popped up or some stuff like that? Some crazy stuff to
they
scare
could
their
have had them in a hologram too. You could
like
have had a hologram of
his
Paul Bearer,
parents.
Brother Love, Kane, his parents, and then like you could have had holograms of all the people he defeated at WrestleMania as well, and just
If
all of them just
if
looking,
you
being like,
if you
"Hey,
had a
man."
if you had a holograph of his parents, he would have had to lose that match because he probably been like, he would have been stuck. You know what I mean? He would have been like, what? Paul Bearer? Wait, hold on. Wait. Paul, wait, you not toss him in the grave. I'm gonna see you to go meet him. some crazy stuff like that. So yeah. Hey man.
So
Vince, cut the check, dude.
Hey, cut the check.
We're done giving you these ideas.
Hey man, what would you consider the match of the night on this show?
Man, it wasn't easy, honestly. Like like I said, when I finally got excited for WrestleMania, I seen why tonight, night 1, is putting a lot of pressure on night 2 tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's putting a lot of pressure on them tomorrow. But if I had to say the best match, I'm rocking with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And that's like by a hair in a race, because you have this with Taker and AJ, and then you cannot leave out that ladder match. So
for sure, man.
It's hard. It's hard.
For me, my match of the night, I'm gonna give it between the ladder match and the boneyard match. I already hyped up the boneyard match, which I got one more thing to comment on that in a second. But the ladder match, I like I said, it helped turn the tide, helped really just kind of shift the momentum of the rest of the first night. It ended so quick. It was only 3 hours long, and it ended and the sun was still up. I was like, this is the first, like, WrestleMania don't end when the sun is up. That's odd. So I never
pass out
that before. Like, it ended at like 10:30 last year. Ended at 7:00 this year. So but yeah, and in the boneyard match, it really, I was like, this was ridiculous. And if this was ridiculous, I know the Firefly Funhouse match is going to be like 5 times more ridiculous. And so I'm really looking forward to that one now. Like the segment last night on Smackdown with John Cena and Bray Wyatt, like that made me just be like, yo, I can't wait for this one. But then the Boneyard match is really, it's like, if they shoot that match like they did this, they got something. They got something.
Yeah, man. They like I say, night 1 has put a lot of pressure on night 2, and I really hope they keep these 2 nights going. And then, you know, next year with a live crowd, and you know, they wrestling live, that's really gonna be like oh yeah, we got it for night 2.
I think they need to test it out first. I think you can't do a 2-night Mania in a stadium. Not as your first.
Honestly,
like, you could, but I think just to test out to see how it will work, do it in an arena. Yeah, go back to arena.
You would make just as much money. You would make just much money. You know what I'm saying? Sell a day pass, sell a day 2 pass, and sell a package.
Do it, a golden package, and don't deviate from what the plan was. I know y'all was gonna. I know WWE. I knew they was gonna come to Vegas in 2022.
Yes.
So don't deviate from that plan. Y'all can still come to Vegas, just be at the T-Mobile. Like, find a time when the nights ain't playing. You know,
y'all have been in Florida forever. Like, y'all had WrestleMania in Florida forever.
Listen, I don't anticipate the Knights playing in the playoffs in a couple years. So you got some good dates free in April. So you got WrestleMania in April. Yes, I'm a Kings fan taking shots at the Vegas Golden Knights. So
this guy here. Anyway,
man, what do you expect from night 2 for WrestleMania?
I don't know, man. I hope fireworks. I hope it was just as good and entertaining as tonight was. Like I said, I'm not going in with any expectations with wrestling like ever again, just because I've been let down so many times. Mm-hmm. But I just hope it be as entertaining as this, man. I mean, we still got Randy Edge last man standing match.
Yeah, Randy Orton and Edge.
Fire Funhouse.
Women's title.
Yeah, we might get
hopefully Sasha Banks wins the SmackDown Women's Championship tomorrow. In the match I'm really looking forward to, Otis and Dolph Ziggler. And,
it's Dolph.
And we can talk about that one tomorrow. I'm gonna get into that one. I got some things to say. But and here's my ultimate expectation. Earlier on this show, earlier on the first night, you know, we got Rob Gronkowski is the host, and he's hosting with Mojo Rawley. And big shout out to Mojo Rawley. This is for him to get in this position is basically a de facto co-host of WrestleMania. Like that's dope to see him there.
Yeah.
So hopefully he kind of gets over with people, because I think I've been a fan of his for a while now. Anyway, R-Truth is hiding. 24/7 champion R-Truth is hiding, and then he ends up getting knocked out. He gets punched by Gronk. And Gronk is like, shit, let me go win this championship. He goes and pins him, and Mojo just like pulls his homeboy off. He's like, no,
nah, bro. You got a Super Bowl, man. Let me get my moment, bro.
I ain't get to have success in the NFL like you did. You get this. So like Mojo Rawley is the 24/7 champion now. And he is like, hey man, I think he's won it a few more times.
Oh,
I don't know how many. Because I know him and R-Truth kind of traded it back and
forth. Oh, yeah.
Shows in like December and January. And so Mojo's like, hey man, I ain't hiding. You know where to find me when you're ready. Like, we can do this. So I anticipate former 3-time Super Bowl champion with the greatest franchise in NFL history, the New England Patriots, the greatest NFL tight end of all time, Rob Gronkowski, is going to win a championship in World Wrestling Entertainment on April 5th, 2020. And I can't wait, because I would be real obnoxious about it.
24/7
as a Patriots fan.
It's not bad. Not bad. That's what that title is for. Somebody coming from the outside world that's gonna hold a title in WWE. That's the title to hold. Can't be mad at that.
We just gotta get Flavor Flav with it.
Yeah, we need Flavor Flav to hit somebody with like a kendo stick and take it.
Just hit somebody with his clock.
Oh yeah, it's like the boogeyman.
He just smash the clock on his head. Yeah, boy.
Oh my god, the internet would go crazy.
Oh, dog, people would hate that.
Oh my god,
people would hate that so much.
Yeah.
Hey man, YKW, man, you want to wrap it up, man?
Yeah, man, it's another episode of Young Kings Wrestling, special episode, man.
Special
Mania night 1. We're gonna be back.
We're gonna be back tomorrow, man.
Yes, tomorrow. So might not get a weekly episode this week because
I don't know what's going on either. So
yeah, because there's talks of no wrestling for it.
Yeah, that would hurt me, but I got so much on the network to watch. I might I got so much.
Yeah, we might get some fantasy booking or any.
We'll figure something out. We
brainstorming stuff right now. So yeah. But yeah, man, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Look.
Anchor.
Spotify,
iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio.
Yes. Please subscribe on all those, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell somebody's baby mama, baby daddy, whatever. Tell somebody to tell their kids. Tell somebody to tell their grandma. You know what I'm saying? Let them know we here. We're talking wrestling. We don't hold back. Please, man. We got everything you need here in wrestling. No biasness also. So yeah, we great, bro. We great.
Biased sometimes though. Because let Sasha Banks win the championship tomorrow. Y'all gonna want this show out of here.
And look, y'all gonna hate me. We are biased, we admit it.
I'll admit when I'm biased. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you black, yep. Listen, anybody black.
Jeff Jarrett hitting people with guitars, man, is hilarious. I'm sorry.
You watching TNA?
No, I'm watching this little best of wrestling moments on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
He has him like smacking people with guitars. So yeah, shout out to Jeff Jarrett.
Hey man.
Man, take us out, TC.
Oh man, me? Okay. You already know where to find us at YK Wrestling, at YK Wrestling everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
Yes, sir.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube too. We're gonna post some more video footage.
We are over there. We're gonna start doing more reactions.
Cause ain't nothing.
Hey, there ain't nothing else for us to do. So
ain't nothing to do, man. So I was so busy last week with school. I had so many projects and tests and assignments due. I was Bro, I was so flustered until I had a math project due at midnight last night. I turned it in at
A
like
math
7.
project?
Okay, so the project was we had to like basically buy a house. So
Okay.
our professor gave us scenarios. So the scenarios based on like our income and our credit score and savings. And so it was just like,
Oh, stuff we should learn in high school.
yeah, basically. So it was like, so he gave us different scenarios based on our last name. So like if our initial started with this, we made $75,000. We got like 30,000 in savings. We got like 800
Okay.
credit score. Like me, I had my
It's good.
scenario. I had the lowest income, $50,000. I had 20,000 in savings. So like I couldn't get nothing
What was
but
your credit score?
my credit score was 750. So credit score wasn't too bad.
Oh, you get a decent spot.
Yeah, I get a decent little loan with that, so it was
Yeah.
cool. I found my spot, so I had to make a whole report based on my findings, based on my criteria, like how much could I afford? Like, will I be able to afford like movers? Like, will I be able to afford? Do I have to do any renovations in the
Oh, that's
place?
cool.
Like shit like
Yeah.
that. So took a lot of mental energy from me
We should
yesterday.
do that with the wrestling promotions and wrestlers.
That would be cold. Like you ever played that? It's called EWF. It's a little thing. You can literally book a whole promotion on there. You'll have a whole roster of wrestlers from every promotion. So you have dudes from like I don't know if they still have it now, but they had it like 12 years ago. That's when I used to play. And
Oh,
uh they had a WWE roster at the time. They had TNA's roster. They had like Japanese. They had all a bunch of regular federations you probably never heard of. Any wrestler that was around at the time that was notable, they was in the game. And you could sign wrestlers from other companies, and you could put on shows. And
oh, that's dope. Yeah,
it
they,
was
they
cool.
they should have that, or at least bring it back or something like that.
So
Right now,
I
it's the
need to
time to
look
bring
into it.
back everything.
Yeah, ain't nobody doing that. If I find out that they got it, I'm gonna start doing it and book my whole promotion again. We gonna run WWE.
Yes, Ultimate X was a very underrated match. Like
I love the Ultimate X.
I'm surprised more companies have not tried to take that concept because that is such a great concept. It looks extremely fun. So I might go
Shout
watch
out to
some.
Primetime Elix Skipper. That's my favorite Ultimate X competitor. Him and AJ
Yeah,
Styles.
I might have to go back and watch some of those
Same.
matches later on.
Hey
Yeah.
man. Hey,
Well, we was
shit.
doing an outro for y'all, but hey, that's what you get here, man.
Yeah,
You get the
we got
real.
completely off the rails. You start talking about math. I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. WrestleMania 36, night 1. We'll be back for night 2.
Yes,
Always, man.
sir.
Subscribe to us. Follow us on Instagram on our personal accounts, tc.fontaine, malik.lv.
Yes,
So
sir.
we don't got nothing to post. So Malik's been posting photography. I'm going to do the exact same starting next week. Oh, got shit to post. So, hey, check us
That's
out,
all I've been
man.
posting.
And as always, man, we always here for you.
Hey man, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their mama, tell their dad, tell their grandma, tell their cousins, and tell the
Man,
rest of everybody that's at the cookout.
yes. And as I always say, man, get blessed
Let's
money,
go ahead
not
and
stress money.
stress money. You know what
I
I'm
said it first.
saying?
Hey.
Speak in peace.
Hey man, hey man, always speak your piece, bro. We out of here. Gone.
Go.